Today we have an AI retouching battle. We are comparing Aftershoot Retouch versus Luminar Neo's Retouch. We're gonna see what they do, how they differ, and after watching this video, you're gonna be able to decide which one you like better and which one fits your needs better. Let's get right to it. Okay, so we have this photo that I have uploaded into Luminar Neo. Luminar Neo is kind of like a special AI software for me because it doesn't do culling. It does editing, but I would say it does a more of like an artistic editing. It is very interesting that they've now started doing some retouching, which is what we're gonna do today. And I'm using this photo that I took on a red carpet a while ago. I normally would not retouch a photo that I took on a red carpet, but this image here, it seems very appropriate because of different things that we can see on the subject's skin. So we have this face shine here that I always try to get rid of, not eliminate, but diminish. We have some blemishes and things that are gonna help us put into test what this software can do when it comes to retouching. So there's a lot of tabs here with a lot of different things that you can do with AI denoising and enhancement and sky replacements and changing the light, light direction and depth and making it more dramatic and a lot of different cool artistic things, but we're going to focus mostly on this tab right here, which is the portrait tab. We have finally the face tab right here. We can change the lighting of the face, like we can increase the lighting of the face. This photo didn't need that, but it's right here in case you want to use it. That's interesting. To me, that's actually an interesting tool. And we can make the face slimmer, which is also interesting, in case we wanted to do that. I'm not gonna do that today, but it's kind of interesting to know that I could do it if the client needs it. There's some clients that really want those kind of things. I don't really like it, but it's there and it's cool because it does a good job. Now let's go to the skin retouching, which is what I actually wanted to see. And we have these tools here: face smoothing, body smoothing, shine removal, which is what I want to do right now, and blemish removal. I'm gonna get close to my subject's face so we can see how these tools work, okay? Before smoothing the face, I want to remove the face shine, which is these reflections generated by the flash or any other light source. I want to see how that goes. I'm exaggerating the edit, and it does a very good job if you see it right there. I mean, it's interesting. It does remove it, and the skin does retain a good texture. Now let's remove the blemishes. I'm gonna exaggerate the edit again. I wanna see how much you can remove blemishes. I guess it did do a good job there too. I normally would not push the tools to 100%, but I just wanna see the changes happening. That's why I'm pushing these tools all the way to the edge. When it comes to blemishes or face shine, I will go lower, but I just wanted to see what it would do. Now, normally, when I am using AI retouching, if I've already gotten rid of the blemishes and scars and everything that had texture on the face, I wouldn't need to smoothen the subject's face. But in this case, I'm gonna, because I still see some little markings and things here. So face smoothing, I wanna see what it does. It does a good job. I mean, you gotta remember, I wanna see this photo from a distance, like any other person would see it. I still feel like there's some little things here. I don't know if you can see them. I would like the software to get rid of them, but it's not detecting them. So I guess that's just gonna stay the way it is. It's kind of slow, if I'm being honest, because every time I zoom out or zoom in, I have to wait for the subject to load, for the photo to load. If I'm moving it, you see how it blurs for a little and then it activates. Anyways, that's all I got here. Oh, body smoothing. Let's see if we can see some of that here in our arms. Yeah, it did smoothen her arms. Not quite liking it too much, but it's there. And what else we have? We have body. Oh, we can change the shape of the body. Okay, that's interesting. Like I can make it thinner or thicker, I guess. Yeah, it's taking a little while to apply. Okay, okay, that looks funny. Okay, so I can make her thinner or thicker. It's acting like a liquify tool in Photoshop, which is why Everything else in the image gets stretched too. Like look at this person right here. She's getting stretched because in order for my subject to be liquefied in or out, it's going to affect the whole image. It doesn't identify just the subject. It has to affect the environment a little. This can be fixed by using layers in Photoshop, but we're not going to do that. And then this high key, I guess it changes the image in general, so we can make it like more of like a high key photo. But this has nothing to do with portrait retouching, so I don't really care about that. I can work on the eyes. I can enlarge the eyes. I can make her eyes bigger. That's interesting. Let me see. Oh, just one eye? Oh, it's just detecting one eye. It's kind of blurry. Okay. So it only detected one eye. Okay. What does eye enhancer mean? I guess this is a bad photo to do it because her eyes are kind of squintish. So it's only detecting one eye actually. It's not doing anything to the other eye. Oh, dark circles. This is interesting. Okay, so yeah, we can work on those dark circles right there. That's interesting. I like that. Improve eyebrows. Okay, so it just makes them darker. I don't know that I would do that, but it's there. Mouth. Lip saturation. So I can saturate her lips. Okay. Lip redness. What's the difference between lip redness and lip saturation? It's the same thing, I guess. Well, I guess if she had a different color, we could change the saturation only of that color, and with the redness, we would make that color look a little more towards the red tones. I don't know. Lip darkening. Okay, makes them a little darker. Oh, teeth whitening. This is gonna be interesting. Let's whiten her teeth a little, not too much. I think that's subtle. And that's my final version of the photo using Luminar Neo. I would like to see this little dots or whatever it is. You know how I don't know, all you guys out there are probably gonna understand. You know when you get a haircut and there's like little hairs on your shirt and on your neck, and that's how it looks. That's how it looks here. And I'm surprised it didn't detect it. I like what it did with the face shine. It gave it a real natural skin. But I would have liked it to get rid of these things here. Anyways, that's what Luminar Neo does. Let's see what Aftershoot does with the same photo. Okay, so this is Aftershoot right here. Already you can see it's a little faster when I zoom in and out. You remember how Luminar Neo needed some time to load? Well, I'm not losing that time here with my zooming in or out or just moving around, which I like because that means I'm going to work faster. And the whole point of using AI to work as a photographer is to be faster, you know? Okay, so we have, I think, more options here because Luminar only had blemish and that's it. And here we have acne, freckle, and spots under the blemish tool. So you can individually work on them, each one of them. And I hope this is going to help me get rid of those things I didn't like. Let me go all the way to 100%. I'm just going to exaggerate to see if I can see a difference. Wrinkles. There's no forehead wrinkles here. Smile lines. I guess it's this lines here. Yes. I don't need to get rid of them. Just diminish them a little. I guess that works. Teeth. Okay, so here we have two different things we're going to do with the teeth. We can brighten them and we can whiten them. Luminar Neo had just one slider, so I can work on them individually here. That might be a little too much. I think that's a little better. That looks a little more natural. I love that it is so much faster. Okay, we can brighten the face here again, just like Luminar Neo, but I don't want to do that. Don't need to do that. I can remove the face shine, which is something I do want to do. Okay. Those reflections are gone. I can smoothen her skin a little too. Interesting. And then I got more options. I have, well, I can remove glass glare, but there's no glasses here. I can brighten her eyes a little. She's squinting, so this I can't see that too much. Eye bags, again, just like Luminar Neo had it. We have it in Aftershoot too. I guess that's good. Oh, flyaway hairs. There's not that many, but we have that option here. So I guess it's gonna work on the hairs around the head. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, we have a tab for body smoothing, just like we did in Luminar Neo. Let's see what it does here. Oh, first I can remove the blemishes. Okay. Okay, so cloth de-wrinkle. This is new. Let's push it to 100% just to see what it does. And I like what it did here, because this was very wrinkly. Look at it. It doesn't look that bad. I guess these wrinkles were a little harder to work on, but it still did a lot. I mean, when it comes to clothes de-wrinkling using AI, you have to be very careful, because if you make this look silky smooth, it ends up looking fake. So you can de-wrinkle, but don't go too far with it. And that's it here, I guess. Oh, I can work on the background, and I can use the patch if I want to. Okay, I don't really want to do those things, but when it comes to just the portrait, like if I were to compare just the results, I did get rid of those little dots and markings here that I was comparing to the hairs when I get my haircut that I couldn't get rid of using Luminar Neo right here. You see those things? They're here in Luminar Neo. Let me get the same. They're here in Luminar Neo and they're not here in Aftershoot. So I did work on them, but I feel like I got a better result here. Now that might be because Luminar seems to be working with a higher resolution version of the photo, not a preview, whereas in Aftershoot I am working with a lower resolution preview, still a high resolution photo, but definitely not as high as here. Now that's not going to affect the export, it's just what I'm working on at the moment. If I were to compare them, it would be kind of hard to decide which one I like more, because AI is getting better by the day. Now everyone's improving their things, you know. I feel that we have a little more tools in Aftershoot than with Luminar Neo. I feel that it's a little faster here, but I like the fact that Luminar Neo has more creative tools that you can bring into the equation to keep on working on your photo. Whereas with Aftershoot, when you come to the retouching part of the process, you're usually done working with this photo. This is like the last step. So after you use Aftershoot retouch, that's it. There's nothing else to do. Whereas when you are using Luminar's retouch, you can go back to doing other things with all the other creative tools it does have. So that's a plus for Luminar, and I guess not so much for Aftershoot if you're into those kinds of things. Anyways, there you have it. That's Aftershoot's retouch versus Luminar Neo's retouch. Which one did you like better? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. And don't forget to follow Aftershoot in all of our social media to be always up to date with the latest we have to offer. See you all in the next one. Bye.